Three social media stars, worshipped by thousands, hid chilling secrets behind their viral fame. From Instagram's shocking posts to TikTok's deadly deception and YouTube's sinister plans, these killers craved the spotlight and got it. Dive into Brandon Clark's horrifying betrayal, starting now. Case 1. The Brandon Clark. In the small city of Utica, New York, on a warm summer day in 1998, Brandon Andrew Clark was born to a working-class family. Growing up in a modest neighborhood, he was a quiet kid, spending hours sketching comic book characters and playing video games. By high school at Proctor High School in 2012, Brandon's interests shifted to music and social media. He taught himself guitar, posted covers of Nirvana songs on YouTube, and dreamed of becoming a rock star. His friends described him as intense but charming, with a knack for drawing people in. By 2016, at 18, Brandon had a small but loyal following on Instagram, where he shared moody selfies, guitar riffs, and cryptic captions about life's struggles. His follower count grew to a few thousand, earning him local fame as a budding influencer. In early 2017, while scrolling through Instagram, Brandon stumbled across the profile of Bianca Devins, a 17-year-old from Utica with a striking aesthetic. Bianca, born in 2001, was an aspiring model and e-girl known for her pastel-colored hair, anime-inspired makeup, and raw, emotional posts about her battles with mental health. Her Instagram under the handle Esty had over 30,000 followers, and her Discord server, where she chatted with fans, was a thriving community. Brandon slid into her DMs, complimenting her style. They bonded over music and shared struggles, quickly becoming close. By summer 2017, they were inseparable, meeting at local cafes and posting cozy photos together. Their followers dubbed them a couple goals, admiring their edgy alternative vibe. By 2018, Brandon's Instagram following had climbed to nearly 10,000ers, fueled by his relationship with Bianca. He leaned into the bad boy persona, posting shirtless photos, guitar solos, and cryptic quotes like, "I'm not what you think." Bianca's star rose even faster, her follower count hitting 100,000 by early 2019. She shared dreamy selfies and vulnerably captioned posts, earning adoration from fans who saw her as relatable yet untouchable. Behind the scenes, their relationship grew turbulent. Brandon, now 20, was possessive, texting Bianca incessantly when she hung out with others. Bianca, juggling online fame and college plans, wanted space. They broke up in late 2018, but stayed in touch, their on-again, off-again dynamic playing out in vague Instagram stories that kept fans guessing. In spring 2019, Brandon enrolled in a music production course at Mohawk Valley Community College, hoping to channel his energy into a career. He rented a small apartment in Utica, decorating it with band posters and LED lights. His Instagram posts grew darker, hinting at heartbreak and betrayal. In April, he posted a black and white photo of himself staring into the camera, captioned, "You'll see what I'm capable of." Fans commented with heart emojis, unaware of the storm brewing. Meanwhile, Bianca was thriving. She planned to study psychology at college and was invited to a concert in New York City by a male friend, stirring Brandon's jealousy. On July 13, 2019, Bianca told Brandon she was going to the concert at the Bowery Ballroom to see Nicole Dollanganger, a singer they both loved. Brandon insisted on driving her from Utica, a 4-hour trip. She reluctantly agreed. On the evening of July 13, 2019, Brandon picked Bianca up in his black SUV. They barely spoke during the drive, tension thick in the air. At the concert, Bianca chatted with her friend, laughing and taking selfies. Brandon stood nearby, arms crossed, his jaw tight. After the show around midnight, they drove to a secluded parking lot in Utica's Post Street near a wooded area. Brandon wanted to talk about their relationship. Bianca, tired, said she saw him only as a friend. His face hardened. At 1:30 a.m. on July 14, 2019, Brandon pulled a knife from his backpack. In a sudden, brutal act, he attacked Bianca, slashing her throat. She collapsed in the SUV, her life ending in moments. Brandon sat beside her body, breathing heavily, the knife still in his hand. At 2:00 a.m., Brandon took out his phone. He positioned Bianca's lifeless body in the SUV and snapped a photo, her pastel hair matted with blood. He logged into his Instagram account, Ice Juliet, and posted the image to his story, captioning it, "Sorry, fuckers, you're gonna have to find somebody else to orbit." He shared the same photo on Discord in Bianca's server with the message, "Sorry, Bianca." The images spread instantly as horrified followers screenshotted and shared them. At 2:15 a.m., Brandon called 911, his voice eerily calm. He told the dispatcher he'd killed his girlfriend and was about to kill himself, giving his location. He then live-streamed on Instagram, sitting in the SUV with Bianca's body, ranting about betrayal. Viewers flooded the stream, some begging him to stop, others assuming it was a prank. At 2:30 a.m., Utica police received multiple 911 calls from Bianca's followers reporting the Instagram post. Officers rushed to Post Street, finding Brandon's SUV parked under a streetlight. Brandon, seeing the flashing lights, grabbed the knife. As police approached, he stabbed himself in the neck, collapsing beside the vehicle. Officers restrained him and discovered Bianca's body in the passenger seat. Paramedics rushed Brandon to St. Elizabeth Medical Center, where he survived emergency surgery. Bianca was pronounced dead. At the scene, her body covered by a tarp as dawn broke over Utica. By 6:00 a.m. on July 14, 2019, the photos had gone viral. Twitter and Reddit exploded with outrage as users condemned Instagram's slow response in removing the images. Bianca's fans created memorial pages, sharing her selfies and quotes. News outlets from CNN to BBC covered the story, dubbing it a social media murder. Brandon's Instagram account was suspended by noon, but screenshots of his post circulated for days. In the hospital, Brandon, under police guard, remained silent. Detectives recovered his phone, finding the photos, Discord messages, and a search history of how to kill someone with a knife from days earlier. On July 15, 2019, Brandon was charged with second-degree murder while still in the hospital. He was transferred to Oneida County Jail, once stable. Bianca's family, devastated, spoke to the press, urging platforms to protect users from graphic content. In February 2020, Brandon's trial began at Oneida County Courthouse. Prosecutors presented the Instagram post, Discord messages, and 911 call as evidence of premeditation. Brandon's defense claimed he acted in a fit of rage, citing his history of depression. The courtroom was packed with Bianca's supporters wearing pink ribbons in her memory. On February 10, 2020, Brandon pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, avoiding a trial. The judge sentenced him to 25 years to life in prison with no parole until 2045. In a cell at Clinton Correctional Facility, Brandon Clark sat alone, his once thriving Instagram account a distant memory. Bianca's followers continued to honor her, raising funds for a scholarship in her name. The wooded lot on Post Street stood quiet, a grim reminder of a love story that ended in horror. Case 2. The Mahek Bukhari. In the bustling city of Stoke-on-Trent, England, on May 24, 1999, Mahek Bukhari was born to Ansreen Bukhari, a Pakistani immigrant, and her husband, a local businessman. Growing up in a tight-knit Muslim family, Mahek was a bright, ambitious child, excelling at school and charming her teachers with her confidence. By 2013, at 14, she discovered social media, posting makeup tutorials and dance videos on Instagram. Her vibrant personality and flawless hijab styles caught attention, earning her hundreds of followers. Mahek dreamed of becoming a fashion influencer inspired by the glitz of online fame. By 2017, at 18, Mahek's social media presence exploded. She joined TikTok, where her lip-sync videos and fashion hauls went viral. Her account under the handle Mahek Bukhari amassed over 50,000 followers, with fans praising her glamorous looks and relatable humor. She enrolled at Staffordshire University to study business balancing classes with her growing online career. Mahek's mother, Ansreen, 41, supported her daughter's ambitions, often appearing in her videos, smiling in coordinated outfits. Behind the scenes, Ansreen's personal life was unraveling. She began an affair with Saqib Hussain, a 20-year-old from Birmingham, whom she met online in 2019. In 2020, Mahek's TikTok following soared to 160,000. She posted about luxury shopping trips, driving her Audi TT, and dining at upscale restaurants. Brands sent her free clothes, and she boasted about her self-made success in captions like, "From nothing to everything." Her followers, many from the US and UK, admired her hustle and style, flooding her comments with heart emojis. Meanwhile, Ansreen's affair with Saqib grew complicated. Saqib, a part-time mechanic with a flair for fast cars, became obsessive, demanding more time with Ansreen. By late 2020, Ansreen tried to end the relationship, but Saqib refused to let go, threatening to expose their affair to her husband. In early 2021, Mahek, now 21, dropped out of university to focus on her influencer career. She moved into a sleek apartment in Leicester with Ansreen, who had separated from her husband. Mahek's posts grew flashier, showcasing designer bags and weekend getaways. Saqib, furious at Ansreen's rejection, began harassing her with calls and texts, claiming he had intimate photos of her. He demanded money to keep quiet, threatening to ruin Mahek's online reputation. Mahek, fiercely protective of her mother and her brand, confronted Saqib via WhatsApp, warning him to back off. Saqib taunted her, saying he'd leak the photos to her followers. On January 10, 2022, Mahek and Ansreen decided to take action. On January 15, 2022, Mahek contacted Rais Jamal, a 21-year-old friend with a criminal record known for street racing in Leicester. She offered him money to deal with Saqib, promising to keep his name out of it. Rais recruited 3 others, Raykan Karwan, Amir Jamal, and Sanaf Gula Mustafa, all in their early 20s and part of Leicester's car enthusiast scene. Mahek arranged a meeting with Saqib, claiming Ansreen wanted to pay him off. On February 11, 2022, Mahek texted Saqib, asking him to meet at a Tesco parking lot in Leicester at 11:00 p.m. to settle the dispute. Saqib agreed, bringing his childhood friend Hashim Ijazuddin, 20, for support. That evening, Mahek and Ansreen drove to the Tesco lot in Mahek's Audi TT, followed by Reyes and his crew in a Seat Leon. Saqib and Hashim arrived in a Skoda Fabia, parking near the store's entrance. At 11:15 p.m., Mahek signaled Rais via phone. The Seat Leon revved its engine, pulling up beside the Skoda. Saqib, sensing a trap, sped off onto the A46, a dual carriageway. Rais and his group chased with Mahek and Ansreen following closely. The high-speed pursuit reached 100 mph, weaving through late-night traffic. At 11:32 p.m., near a bend in Littlethorpe, Rais rammed the Skoda from behind. The impact sent Saqib's car spinning into a tree, bursting into flames. Saqib and Hashim, trapped inside, died instantly in the inferno. At 11:40 p.m., Mahek and Ansreen drove past the burning wreckage, their faces pale in the glow of the flames. Rais and his crew fled the scene, ditching their car in a nearby industrial estate. Mahek returned to her apartment, her hands shaking as she deleted her WhatsApp messages with Saqib. At 11:50 p.m., a passing driver called 9999 reporting the crash. Leicestershire police and firefighters arrived, extinguishing the blaze and finding the charred remains of Saqib and Hashim. Investigators initially thought it was an accident, but skid marks and car debris suggested foul play. By midnight, Mahek posted a TikTok video smiling in a hijab and lip-syncing to a pop song as if nothing had happened. On February 12, 2022, police traced the Skoda to Saqib and contacted his family, who mentioned his dispute with Ansreen. Detectives pulled phone records uncovering texts between Mahek Ansreen and Reyes planning the Tesco meeting. CCTV from the parking lot showed Mahek's Audi and the Seat Leon tailing Saqib's car. On February 14, 2022, police raided Mahek's apartment, arresting her and Ansreen. Mahek, dressed in designer sweats, stayed silent as officers seized her phone, revealing deleted messages. Reyes, Rekan Amir, and Sanaf were arrested the same day their Seat Leon found abandoned with damage matching the crash. On February 15, 2022, Mahek and Ansreen were charged with 2 counts of murder. Reyes and his crew faced the same charges, with Reyes also charged for dangerous driving. The case gripped Leicester, with Mahek's TikTok fans stunned. Her videos, still online, racked up views as news spread. By March, posts on X called her the TikTok killer, with clips of her hauls circulating alongside crash site photos. The trial began in May 2023 at Leicester Crown Court. Prosecutors presented phone records, CCTV footage, and crash forensics, proving the chase was deliberate. Mahek took the stand, claiming she only wanted to scare Saqib, not kill him. Ansreen, tearful, said she feared for her family's honor. The defense argued the crash was an accident, but the jury saw through the lies. On September 1, 2023, after a 7-week trial, Mahek and Ansreen were found guilty of 2 counts of murder. Reyes, Rekan Amir, and Sanaf received life sentences for murder, with Reyes getting an additional 7 years for dangerous driving. The judge sentenced Mahek to life with a minimum of 31 years. Ansreen, 26 years, calling their actions cold-blooded. The courtroom was silent as Saqib's and Hashim's families wept, clutching photos of the young men. In a cell at HMP Foston Hall, Mahek Bukhari sat, her TikTok account frozen, her glamorous life reduced to prison walls. The A46 crash site, now marked by a small memorial, stood as a grim testament to a plan born of vanity and vengeance. Case 3. The Trey Sesler. In the quiet town of Waller, Texas, on August 3, 1989, Trey Eric Sesler was born to Rhonda and Mark Sesler, a middle-class couple who ran a small landscaping business. The eldest of 3 boys, with brothers Ryan and Brett following Trey, grew up in a cozy ranch-style home surrounded by open fields. As a child in the mid-1990s, he was shy but creative, spending hours drawing anime characters and building Lego sets. By 2003, at 14, Trey enrolled at Waller High School, where he struggled to fit in. His love for Japanese anime like Dragon Ball Z set him apart from his sports-obsessed peers, earning him teasing but a small circle of like-minded friends. In 2006, at 17, Trey discovered YouTube, a new platform buzzing with possibility. Inspired by anime reviewers, he launched a channel called Lens Cap Productions. His first video's shaky webcam rants about Naruto drew a few dozen views. Trey's earnest passion and quirky humor resonated, and by 2008, his subscriber count climbed to $5,000. He upgraded his setup using a Canon camera to film stop-motion shorts and detailed anime reviews. Fans praised his dedication, leaving comments like, "Keep it up, man." Trey reveled in the attention, spending late nights editing in his cluttered bedroom, posters of Bleach heroes taped to the walls. By 2010, Trey, now 21, had graduated high school, but skipped college, working part-time at his parents' landscaping business. His YouTube channel grew to 25,000 subscribers, a significant following for a niche anime creator. He posted weekly reviewing Attack on Titan episodes and showcasing his growing gun collection, including a legally purchased AR-15 rifle. In a video titled My Gear, uploaded in June 2010, Trey grinned as he displayed rifles and handguns, joking about being a Texan at heart. Fans, found it quirky, leaving thumbs ups. At home, tensions simmered. Rhonda and Mark worried about Trey's obsession with guns and his aimless future, urging him to find a career path. Trey brushed them off, retreating to his room to chat with fans on Skype. In early 2011, Trey's videos took a darker turn. He posted a cryptic vlog, staring into the camera with bloodshot eyes, ranting about people who don't get it. His subscribers, used to his upbeat reviews, commented with concern. Trey's mental state was unraveling. He spent hours on forums, like 4chan, reading about mass shooters and survivalist tactics. In July 2011, he bought a Taurus 9mm pistol and 500 rounds of ammunition from a local gun shop, telling the clerk he was preparing for anything. At night, he wrote in a spiral notebook detailing a plan he called The Reckoning, targeting his former high school and those who wronged him. His family noticed his withdrawal but chalked it up to stress. By January 2012, Trey's YouTube activity slowed. He uploaded a video titled Big Things Coming, showing him loading magazines in his backyard, captioned, "Stay tuned, guys." The video hit 10,000 views, with fans speculating about a new anime project. In reality, Trey was plotting something far more sinister. On March 19, 2012, he drove to a sporting goods store in Houston, buying a tactical vest and a hunting knife. Back home, he tested the knife's weight, staring at his reflection in the blade. Rhonda, sensing something off, asked him to join a family dinner. Trey snapped, yelling that he needed space, then locked himself in his room. On the morning of March 20, 2012, the Sesler household was calm. Mark, 57, was in the garage fixing a lawnmower. Rhonda, 54, was in the kitchen preparing breakfast. Ryan, 26, a mechanic, was visiting from Austin, asleep in the guest room. Brett, 16, was at school. At 9:20 a.m., Trey, dressed in black jeans and a hoodie, grabbed his AR-15 from under his bed. He walked to the garage, his heart pounding. Without a word, he raised the rifle and fired, striking Mark in the chest. Mark collapsed, tools clattering to the floor. Hearing the shots, Rhonda ran from the kitchen screaming. Trey turned, firing again, hitting her in the torso. She fell near the dining table, her coffee mug shattering. At 9:10 a.m., Ryan, woken by the noise, stumbled into the hallway. Trey met him at the door, firing 3 rounds into his brother's chest. Ryan slumped against the wall, lifeless. Trey stepped over the bodies, his boots leaving bloody prints. He dragged Mark and Rhonda to the living room, covering them with a tarp from the garage. Ryan's body was left in the hallway, too heavy to move. At 9:30 a.m., Trey cleaned his rifle, reloading it with fresh magazines. He packed his tactical vest, pistol, and knife into a duffel bag, intending to drive to Waller High School, 10 miles away, to continue his plan. At 10:00 a.m., Trey sat in his silver Honda Civic parked in the driveway. He filmed a final YouTube video on his phone, staring into the lens with hollow eyes. "This is it, guys," he said, his voice flat. "Time to make a statement." He uploaded it to Lens Cap Productions, setting it to private. Before he could leave, a neighbor, alerted by the gunfire, called 911. At 10:15 a.m., Waller Police Department officers arrived, spotting Trey's car. They approached with guns drawn, ordering him to exit. Trey froze his hand on the pistol. After a tense standoff, he dropped the weapon and raised his hand, stepping out of the car. Officers cuffed him, finding the duffel bag stuffed with ammo. By 10:30 a.m., police entered the Sesler home, discovering the bodies of Mark, Rhonda, and Ryan. The scene was chaotic, with blood pooling on the hardwood floors. Detectives secured Trey's room, finding his notebook filled with sketches of the high school and lists of targets. His computer showed recent searches for how to reload fast and Columbine timeline. At noon, Trey was booked into Waller County Jail, charged with 3 counts of capital murder. News vans swarmed the quiet street as neighbors whispered in disbelief. By evening, Trey's YouTube channel was flooded with comments, fans stunned that their anime hero was a killer. On March 21, 2012, police interviewed Trey at the station. He sat silently, staring at the table, refusing to speak. His phone revealed the private video, which detectives described as chilling. The Waller County Sheriff's Office released a statement confirming the murders, but withholding details about Trey's school plan. Over the next week, the story spread online. Posts on X called him the YouTube shooter, with clips of his gun videos resurfacing. His channel was suspended, but archived reviews circulated on Reddit, fueling true crime discussions. In April 2013, Trey's trial began at the Waller County Courthouse. Prosecutors presented the notebook weapons and YouTube videos as evidence of premeditation. The AR-15, bought legally, was shown to the jury, its barrel still stained. Trey's defense argued he suffered from undiagnosed schizophrenia, but no medical records supported the claim. Trey Sesler, now 17, testified, his voice breaking as he described finding his family gone. On May 10, 2013, after 3 hours of deliberation, the jury found Trey guilty on 3 counts of capital murder. The judge sentenced him to life without parole, citing the calculated brutality of his actions. In a cell at the Polunsky unit in Livingston, Texas, Trey Sesler sat his anime posters and YouTube dreams, replaced by concrete walls. The Sesler home, boarded up, stood empty, a haunting relic of a family erased by one of their own. From Instagram's gruesome posts to TikTok's deadly lies and YouTube's dark plans, these killers turned fame into infamy. Their viral crimes shocked the world, proving social media can hide monsters. Subscribe for more chilling true crime stories and comment which case haunted you most.